It's the final episode of the season. Will it be a surprising hit or a tragic miss? Watch along with me and find out. Please be advised that there are spoilers ahead related to the property being watched and or discussed in this video. And please note, this reaction does not contain a picture-in-picture view with the audio from the episode. Instead, this video is designed as a watch-along style. Click on the link displayed on your screen to find out about 3 easy ways to watch this episode with me using your own devices. Hello! Welcome back, my dear viewers and or subscribers. And if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is my channel where I like to watch, react, and review somewhat a tiny collection of stuff related to sci-fi, fantasy, and comic books. So, in today's video, I'm going to be pressing play on the final episode of the first season of the new series called Foundation from Apple TV. The title of the episode is called The Leap. So yeah, I'm definitely going to need a leap of faith in believing that this episode might be the best one of the season or the worst one. Who knows? If you've been watching my reactions to Foundation since episode 1, then you know that there has been some hits and misses here and there. And just as a reminder, or also for info for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, I'm not familiar with the books, so I'm just a regular, average TV viewer, and keep that in mind based on, whatever I say in my reaction if you end up watching along with me. Okay? So I'm going to get ready to press play. So if you're ready to watch along with me, let's get ready to count down. And if not, feel free, of course, to skip on over to the reviews/takeaways afterthoughts portion of this video, and I'll see you at that point. All right, here we go. Okay, are you ready? So I'm at 152, and I noticed there wasn't like the customary intro. Maybe they might put it in later in the episode, I'm not sure. But either way, it starts at 152, so let's get ready to count down. I'm nervous because, like I said in my previous reaction, it's all about how it ends, and that's really going to be the determining factor for me whether I'm going to be interested in watching season 2. But we'll see. Okay, counting down. 3, 2, 1, play. If anything, I just hope we get a lot of answers. Or I get the answers, because I'm sure most of you are up to date with all kinds of stuff. So is that Gail? Oh, Harry. What am I looking at? Was that Harry's coffin? Oh! Did it turn into the vault? Is that what I just visually saw? I hope I saw that right. Okay. That night back when? Or... Ah. Oh, obviously. Ah, some heavy subtext there. They're so quick to believe him, though. He has no proof of anything. I think he's known a lot of things. Salvor? Okay. I'm going to pause here before I get too overwhelmed. So I'm at 645. All right. So the fact that he asked for Gale means that that is the real Harry in the flesh. Because if it was that same AI, art, that hologram from the previous episodes, it would know about Gale, right? Okay. I think so. What else here? I'm just having a hard time believing this whole thing with, I would say believing, but the believability, it's so just like, oh, by the way, your fight that you guys have been having for centuries, it's all a lie. Theon or whoever, the first clone for the dynasty, it was all him. And then, like, okay, let's now, you know, follow what I just said. Just believe me because I'm Harry Seldon and I know shit. It just seems very just, I don't know. I don't know how to express it properly. It's just really reaching. But I understand the end goal because I did kind of say that out loud in my previous reactions. It seemed as if there was something here where you want to unite these two warring factions, warring groups of people, so that they could be a part of taking down the empire. That doesn't surprise me. I guess it's just the underlying exposition, more or less, that all of a sudden it's like, okay, believe me now, let's get to it, move along. Maybe it's just the execution of it just seems very, very forced in or something. But it is what it is. Okay, let me continue and let's go. Countdown: 3, 2, 1, play. See, like if he lied there, I just find it odd they're so quick to take his word for anything. Because Harry has lied since the beginning. Be fair. Good answer. I don't think they'll kill him. It just seems too easy, too obvious. Hmm. Mercy after all? Hmm. Great dialogue. Like that. Mm-hmm. That whole soul concept coming into play a little bit there. Hmm. Ah, okay. Getting you all together. Come together, build an army. Hmm. Huh. Wow. That is convenient. Yeah, like how are you even there? Come on. Oh, whoa! Yeah, here we go. Molecular machine. Like nanobots? How? So is it moral then? Jared Harris is great casting. Jesus. Yeah. Okay. So, how is she able to get close to the vault and no one else had? Okay, right. Obviously, it's a mystery there. I love how he explained it to kids because I kind of see that as their way of explaining it to viewers like me who need a kitty explanation. Or kid friendly explanation. That's a better way to put it. So he's immortal then. He's a machine, right? The nanobots turn him into this vault, and his consciousness and everything is just housed there. All right, who's this? What's this? Oh, Azura. Oh, that looks so painful. Execution time, I guess. Maybe not. Yeah. Interesting design. Yeah, every Cleon clone had that ambition, I'm sure. The Son, the Father, the Holy Ghost. Oh, okay. Why is he? Okay. Oh my god! Holy fuck! Mm, mm, mm. There's gangster and there's gangsta. Wow! Sorry, Azura, that's some serious sentencing. That was great. Performance wise and everything, too. That's amazing. So far, my favorite scene of the whole episode. That should be the tagline for the whole show. And yet they're still gonna follow him. Yeah, that would totally bum her out for real. Hmm. So are they going to leave the whole Salvor thing a mystery for the rest of the episode, or what? I'm just kind of impatient because I want them to get to it with that part. And if you've been watching my previous reactions, you know I think that she's Gail's daughter. Gail and Raish's. I'm not. Hmm. You're the new huntress. I was gonna say, really? Mm. He's so cute. I like this actor. No, that'll be a visible memory of Farah. Not a character I cared for, so, you know, not a big deal to me. Oh, fast forwarding time. And building they go. Of all people. Go, Hugo. It's your birthday. Working together, creating peace. All right, all right. I'll just believe it. I'll take that leap. Because it looks like I have no choice if I'm going to stay engaged with this series. It's visually very, very attractive. So the Empire will no longer pay attention to that anymore. So how many years has passed? Has she aged? Shanna. Well, the kids look the same, so not much time has gone by. Just enough time. I'm so using that line. Okay, so just a few months or so. That's what I'm gathering. She's getting her realignment all right. They both are. I love it. Short and sweet. Oh, another vision. Like, this is so obviously pointing to the fact that there is a connection between her and Gail. She's not her daughter. She's definitely connected somehow. It's going to be interesting to see if they even reveal it in this episode. I could see them stringing me along till season 2. Nice view. It's like a Luke Skywalker moment, kind of. Kind of. Tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of it. Who dat? Who dat? One of those kids. Oh, a vision of a kid who jumps into uh, water. All right. I'm conflicted with 2 theories, but let's see here. Oh, Mare already. rarely right on anything, people. It's great. So she deliberately took the egg, the zygote. The little boy. Yeah. With the knife. Okay. One in flesh, one in spirit. Kind of. In her cryo sleep? Oh my gosh, for real? Really? Okay. All right. Say goodbye to Hugo. She better not just up and leave like that. This is so awkward. Aren't we all? Fuck's sakes. I watch way too many soap operas. But I'm glad it's revealed exactly as I thought it should be. Nothing else would have made sense that I could think of right now. So feel free to share in the comments what other theories, plausible theories you had. Just snap your fingers. Yeah, she didn't say goodbye. Okay, there he is. Damn. Hmm. His contacts are so distracting. Aww. Well, there goes one love story. I'm one of those viewers that doesn't really care too much for the love story, so it's not that big a deal to me. Follow the hunch. If they make her just fine gal like that, though, I think I'm gone with the show. It's too much for me to suspend my belief on. Gale. Gosh, I keep saying her name differently. I don't know how to say it, to be honest. Bye, Hugo. Okay, so this is a split in the thread of this storyline. So we're gonna have separate storylines of her space adventure looking for her long lost mama. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Do you think this is a brave decision? Is this book accurate? I don't know. I don't mind knowing if you want to share. Oh, wait, no, I don't think it would be because Salvor was a guy, apparently, in the books. And Gale. I don't know. Um, Good point. So are they going to just put him to sleep kind of thing? Like peacefully kill him, I guess? Oh, okay. It's like judgment. Oh, okay. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought she was walking him to his death. Or I guess that's kind of what she's doing. Hmm. Oh, Mercy! Oh, shit. Oh, these two are gonna go at it now. Why? Let me guess, she's a traitor. She's gonna reveal herself as this big traitor. Her programming. Should have seen that coming. Yeah. I actually want to cry right now. I don't know why. It just really bothered me. Ah. But yeah, if you put all the pieces together. Damn. But at least I got it right. Day did choose mercy. Love, whatever. For whatever it was worth. This is going to be his reminder of Dawn now. He's going to get rid of it. I gotta look for some tissue here. Didn't expect to. Good job, TV show. You actually got tears out of me with this series. But here's a shift in Brother Day here, so. That obviously means something. Oh, shoot. And those who know the truth of that are now probably going to be under threat here. Like Shadow Master. Right? Because this would be a huge secret. Oh. God damn. I think the Empire is going to wipe itself out. For real. She's showing emotion here. She actually looks pissed off. Mm. She's probably hating her programming because she probably didn't want to kill Dawn, right? Okay, yeah. We're going full Terminator here. Oh! I'm sorry, that just. Okay, didn't expect that. The blue drift. Oh, wow, alright, 138 years ahead. Oh, Gale, right? Yes, yes. So we're just gonna go to this point now in the story where she was heading home. All right. Time jumping, time jumping. They saved all this for the last episode. At least that's a way to stay young, right? Just go from one part of the galaxy to the other. You'll never have to die. She knows it's hundreds of years. Like, you're not going to see your family, nothing. What does she hope to gain? And rent and water. I said in my previous reaction that I think the entire planet is engulfed in water. It's water world. They showed way too many clues of that. So let's see. Yeah. Well, anyways, the part where she landed, I could be completely wrong, and she finds a whole colony, just somewhere over there kind of thing. Meets up with like second cousins and shit. Third cousins, fourth cousins. Ooh, handy. Oh my gosh, I want one of those. Hang on to that. Obviously, you're going to need it. Is that a good thing? Like, could she bring it back up and leave again in it, or what? Mm. It'd be pretty funny if she realizes there's no one left and then it just ends. No, no, no. Here's a little something, something. Is that the remnants of her home? Oh no! Some. Oh. I can't really feel emotion towards this because to me it's like, what did she expect? Oh, okay. Here's something. Is it like an Atlantis situation? Civilization went underwater? I watch and read a bunch of stuff, people, so my mind can go all kinds of places with my imagination. Swim, girl, swim. Where are you going? It's a little mermaid situation here. She's like the master of holding her breath, because how long would that have taken her? At least 5 minutes. Oh my god, is that Salvor? That was her face. I swear that I saw her face. It was quick, but it wasn't that quick. Yeah, her hair. Oh, that's not even possible. So that was her destination syntax? Oh my goodness. Of course you did. You, my mom. God. Based on the music, it's gonna end here. Yeah, I know the end of an episode when I. Yeah. Is this like Star Wars moment, right? I'm sorry. It's very the ending of The Force Awakens. Okay. Oh man. Wow. I am going to have a weird time trying to figure out my thoughts for this episode. Just so Star Warsy that I'm like, I don't even know. Okay. If you care, just be patient with me. I'm going to take a few minutes and I'll come back to you with my thoughts about this episode. Okay, so if you were watching along with my reaction, you should have some idea based on moments where I was blurting out stuff about my overall thoughts with this episode. And it's interesting because at the beginning of my recording of this video, I tend to record my intros first. I don't do it after the fact. And in my intro, I stated, this could be a hit or a miss. And it's funny because it's both for me on my first watch, okay? After watching breakdown videos and perhaps finally maybe listening to some of the podcasts, I'll have maybe a different perspective, but keep in mind this is a first watch, first impressions, takeaways, afterthoughts, okay? And from a person who's not familiar with the books, if it is at all relevant. So on the screen is my NAP meter, my own personal thing. It stands for narrative, action, and pacing. I'm going to kind of go along a little bit with that formula so I can keep my thoughts as organized as possible. So when it comes to the narrative, I'm just going to touch on what I felt were real hits and misses. So let me start with the misses because I like to start with the negative a little bit and then go into ending off with the positive. So for me, on my first watch, the miss for me was this whole thing with Salvor finding Gale within like barely 10 minutes of the whole entire episode. I don't think the show did a great job leading up to that point for me to feel emotionally like, oh my gosh, she's reuniting with her long lost mother. What happened in this episode with Salvor and Gale finally meeting up with each other in that way, very Star Warsy way, I personally think that should have been like episode 6. It should have been something that you get me as a viewer to get ready for not only the revelation that it's her daughter, which I've been predicting the whole time. And if you've watched my previous reactions, you know I called it about this whole thing with the zygote. In my opinion, there's no other plausible way around that part, but I'm open to your ideas, of course, so let me know in the comment section what other ways it could have been plausible for Salvor to have the visions she had that connected her to Gale and Raish that way, okay? So because they didn't do a good job, in my opinion, really working me up to that point, I just didn't care at the end. It's like, oh, wow, within 10 minutes, not only did you skip 138 years to then make it, coincide with the time frame that Gale needed to get to Syntax, but then boom, bada bing, instead of finding her family, which obviously she wasn't going to find because they're long dead by that point, she finds her long lost daughter. That's not a hit for me. It wasn't properly executed. I would have been more emotionally invested if it was revealed a lot earlier on that Salvor was her daughter, and then we can see the progression of Salvor's journey finding Gale, so that when she does reveal herself to Gale as her daughter, it feels earned. Not only, of course, for the story, but for me as a viewer who wants to be invested in this journey with all these characters they're presenting to me, right? So that's how I feel about that in terms of being a miss in this episode. Now, the second miss for me is a very surprising miss. I reacted in a way I didn't even expect. This show has never brought out tears, and it brought tears to my eyes, and I'm still a little bit angry about this, and that is the sudden execution of Brother Dawn by Demerzel, and then Demerzel losing her goddamn mind, turning into the Terminator at the end. Well, that part wasn't a miss for me, the Demerzel part. I'll get to that in a minute. It's mainly the sudden end of the situation with Brother Dawn. I really thought it was going to be a promising thing moving the plot forward with the dynasty and the empire to have Day make a decision that's out of the norm, which he did. He decided to spare him, have mercy on him, or however that was going to work. And Brother Dusk, of course, he had his issues with it. And I said in my reaction, I shouldn't have been surprised that Demerzel would suddenly have her programming try to protect the Cleon Empire at the right moment, it seems, and then she snaps his neck, Brother Dawn's neck, and that's the end of that. If you watch my reaction, I did articulate, though, that I do understand the shift that it seems to have created for Brother Day, and in the long run, in a macro sense, I think the Empire is going to implode more than anything. I think outside factors are just going to be just that, outside factors, but the implosion of the Empire will be their undoing by themselves. Anyway, the sudden execution of Brother Dawn was a miss for me because, number one, Dawn's storyline, this particular Dawn's storyline, was the most gripping and captivating for the latter part of this series. It's actually what kept me hooked with this show. The whole Empire narrative is the most captivating part of the series, which I'm going to touch on a little bit more as I round off my concluding thoughts about this series and what I may be interested in when it comes to season 2, if at all. All right, so those are the main misses. I'm sure there are many other things I could bring up, like, for instance, I'll put this as a third miss. I'll do equal 3 and 3, 3 hits, 3 misses, and that is Harry Seldon. I love Jared Harris. I think he's such great casting. But aside from that, he comes and tells these people, oh, by the way, the history you've known is all a lie. They have to take his word for it. He didn't show any proof of anything. They're just like, okay, fine, you're telling the truth. But it is revealed, especially by the mother there, Mary, that he lied to them. So if he lied to them about certain aspects related to the Foundation, why would they just conclude he's telling the truth about the history between the Anacreons and the Thespians, right? Or is it just truth they needed to hear so that they can be like, we should set aside our differences and let's go about and be free? That seemed to have appealed to them, the freedom, creating this flair and all that, and hiding away from the Empire. All right, I'll buy that. But for me, it's still a miss at this point, only because it just kind of came out of nowhere, and it's crammed into this last episode as extra exposition that I think they should have actually hinted at the beginning of the series. Maybe show a scene to us as viewers of what really happened that night, and then we don't know what that means, especially if it's not related to the books or, you're just watching the show. And then we see Harry reveal to them the truth of it that we know as viewers because it was revealed in some form previously. Unless there were clues to that I just didn't pick up on, let me know in the comment section. But until I get that clarity, I think just shoehorning all of that just so they can now finally have a reason to band together and create this alliance, it didn't work for me. Okay, now I'm going to continue on with the narrative aspect of this episode, and let's focus on the hits of this episode. I've already touched on the misses. Let me now tell you what are the 3 aspects of this episode in terms of story, narrative that I will not forget, and it makes it rewatchable for me just because the performance was amazing, the dialogue was amazing, the story of what was going on was so cool. And the first one that I'm going to refer to is that scene between Brother Day and Azura in the garden, where he just names off all the people related to her who've had any associations with her, just everybody that has any link to Azura, he wiped out with the flick of his fingers. That was so amazing how they led me up to that point because I didn't know what he was getting at. I wasn't sure what the point is, and I did like how they made it very clear for you to be a bit confused. Where was he going with this? And there was this clear and present danger all around her. And then, boom, he just tells her all those people that have any association to you whatsoever from past to present, they're gone. They're dead. And as I said in my reaction, that is one of the most gangsta move I have ever seen on TV with this kind of premise and situation, which makes that scene and Lee Pace's performance the most memorable part for me in this episode. As for my second favorite part of this episode, if you've been watching all my reactions, it shouldn't come as no surprise, and that is the reveal of who Salvor Hardin is. In my reaction video to episode 9, I reconfirmed my theory that likely under some kind of circumstance, Mari had access to the zygote that Gale and Raish put aside, right? And so in this episode, it was pretty much right on the nose. She not only got access to it, she picked it. And boom, bada bing, Salvor Hardin is Gale and Raish's daughter, which explains her visions, or as she puts it, memories, collective memories that she can access. And that reminds me of another series of books. But anyway, the reveal of this truth was very satisfying for me because I'm normally wrong when it comes to like reveals, okay? My imagination goes way too out of there and I end up being 99% of the time wrong. So it was nice. It was nice, as obvious as it was a little bit, to still be right when it came to the circumstances of how she was actually conceived. For the last scene of this episode that I very much appreciated and I think was a great hit in how it was executed in terms of performance, dialogue, and what it could likely mean for season 2, that is the moment we find out that the dynasty, the clone dynasty, has been corrupted. And in my reaction, I actually uttered out loud, ooh, is this going to be a point where Brother Day may take measures to execute those that know this dirty little secret, starting with the Shadow Master or anybody else who may find out? Because if that becomes public knowledge, that's definitely going to create some serious problems. And now that the story has moved 138 years into the future, I cannot wait to see in season 2, and that's the only reason why I'm going to watch it, what has happened at that point with the Empire, considering the fact that the clone situation has been defiled, so to speak. And if I had to sneak in one extra scene that is very memorable from this episode and a little bit comical in the visual execution of it, it is the moment when Demerzel rips off her human garb and exposes the robot inside. Now, visually, the way it was executed in the episode, from what I saw, it was a bit on the comical end because I even uttered out loud, it's all Terminator here because she looks like a Terminator. But regardless, how I've interpreted that scene is it's Demerzel showing grief and anger and rage, human emotions that can only be projected in that form that they were trying to show visually for us as viewers. And all those emotions boiled up to that point because I don't think Demerzel wanted to kill Brother Don, but her programming, her loyalty kicked in at the worst moment, and snapping his neck was the result of that, and showing Demerzel taking off the human mask, because that's really what it is, seems to be a self-realization that that's what she is. She's not human. She's a robot. She's under the control of this empire. And perhaps in season 2, we're no longer going to see a human-looking face. Maybe it's going to be a self-acceptance of this robot, the last of their kind, right? Apparently, right? I hope I got that right. So, who knows? But it is memorable, mainly because it reminds me a lot of the Terminator. All right, so let me conclude now with the action part of my nap meter. Action was good. No complaints. I thought it was just enough on all fronts for every plot that we're trying to wrap up in this particular finale episode. And with that steady action, in my opinion, the pacing followed properly. Each plot related to certain characters, the pacing of the story was perfect, and at times almost too perfect, especially that moment where Harry was explaining to the kids how he came to be. I needed that kid-friendly explanation, and the pacing of that was good enough for me not having to stop and rewind and listen again. So I have no qualms with the action and the pacing for this episode. It's only the narrative that I have my hits and misses. So that leaves me with my final nap score for this episode, which is a 3 out of 5, mainly because the misses, in my opinion, at this point, outweighs the hits. Which at this point, until further notice, it does affect my interest in watching season 2, because the only narrative that I now really care about is the Empire's narrative. And with Brother Dawn out of the picture, and we're back to Brother Day and Brother Dusk, and whatever decisions they made in those hundreds of years that has fluttered by, okay? It's like, are we going to be back to square one? Now that they know the clone dynasty has been corrupted, are they going to take a chance in even allowing a new Brother Dawn to be born? I want to see if that's going to be the case. And if they do allow a new Brother Dawn, what is Brother Day going to do about it? Because we last saw him mashing down the original Cleon. And so am I led to believe that that is actually at that point they will no longer decide cloning because it's corrupted? And that is the end of it. And the Brother Day we see there is the last of them. I don't know. But nonetheless, it's compelling enough for me to care about season 2. And when it comes to Gale and Salvor, I guess it's going to be a mother and daughter journey for them, and they might reunite again with the Harry in that vault, or Harry who is the vault. Because when that kid touched Harry, all I could perceive is perhaps he is a mashup of his previous flesh and the nanobots that created him as a vault, or something like that. I'm probably not wording it properly, but it doesn't matter because at this point in time, my interest in season 2 is revolving around the Empire. And hopefully the life hook of the Empire storyline is enough for me to be eventually invested into more aspects of the story, assuming the creators of the show do a much better job at creating a more compelling narrative outside of the Empire, because that's the only one that I believe they've executed very well, especially with the casting of Lee Pace. He was just brilliant in this episode. The performances throughout this series, though, to be fair, are very good from everybody respectively. But because I do have a preference, for Lee Pace and for Jared Harris, maybe I'm a bit biased there. So, there you have it. That is my reaction and some of my key thoughts from watching episode 10 of Foundation for the first time. All right, so keep that in mind. Please share with me in the comments what your thoughts about this finale episode are. What parts did you enjoy? What parts that you did not enjoy? And what's your favorite episode of the entire series? At this point in time, it is episode 9 for me. I really, really enjoyed that episode. It had everything I was actually looking forward to seeing in this series as a whole. And so I just hope that season 2 has similar type of episodes with great narrative, great action, good pacing. I don't think that's asking for too much, right? In any case, I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you have been watching my reactions to this series since episode 1, thank you so very much for tuning in with me every week. I really appreciate the feedback you've been giving in the comment section for those of you that have chosen to do so. And if you are a subscriber, I hope other reactions to other properties will be of interest to you until season 2 of Foundation comes along. So thank you for tuning in. And until my next reaction that may be of interest to you, I'm Asha, tuning out. Peace. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos and subscribe. You know you wanna.